What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my week 4 power rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel or this power ranking series, be sure to like and subscribe, as it does help a lot. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. So let's just start right off with number 10. At number 10, I still have the Oakland Raiders. Now, it was concerning how they struggled so much against against a team with a backup quarterback. But I mean, the Dolphins are, I would say, a pretty good team. I still think that they'll probably make the playoffs. So who knows? The Raiders might come and steal their playoff spot from right under them. So I don't know, but yeah. So I'm just gonna keep the Raiders where they are at number 10. I still think that they're playing better than expected, definitely. But I don't think they're playing amazing football. I just think they're playing good football. They have beat some very good teams, so there is that. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep that at number 10 until they show me a very impressive win. Number 9, I've got the 49ers. Now, I dropped them. I didn't drop them too much though, and they're also still in the top 10. I mean, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers just pulling some magic out of I don't even know where, they would have won the game. I thought that they did win the game. I mean, there was only 37 seconds left, and the Packers had no timeouts, and somehow they got into field goal range. But that's just Aaron Rodgers magic. Nothing you can do about that. And yeah, I still think that they played a very good game against the Packers, and it is what it is if you lose, but they were still very impressive. Okay, number 8, I have the Chiefs. The Chiefs, yeah, this is pretty concerning. I'm still gonna have them in my top 10 because I still think that they will bounce back. But yeah, losing to the Chargers was very concerning, and the fact that they've lost twice is also pretty concerning, so early on, especially when people Nick Wright were just talking about how they're going to go 16-0, but the Chiefs are still I would say a good football team, and yeah, I'm going to have them at number 8. So number 7, I'm going to have the Browns. So the Browns are, I would say, they're a pretty good football team as well. I put them ahead of the Chiefs, even though they beat the Chiefs. That might have been a mistake. I don't know, but I was very impressed with how they just dominated the Bears. Even though the Bears aren't a very good team, just that complete domination, that was very impressive. Which is why I have the Browns ahead of the Chiefs, because they are showing me more. Well, yeah, they're showing me more right now, whereas, the Chiefs are 1-2. They've lost 2 close games, but, still lost. Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked like himself so far. So, yeah, I'm gonna have the Browns ahead of them because they are playing very good football right now. Okay, number 6, I have the Packers. They bounced back into the top 10. After that defining win against the 49ers, and really both teams played well in this game, so I moved both of them up because I feel a lot could be taken from both teams in this game, and a lot of positives, right? Now the Packers, just Aaron Rodgers magic, that's why they won, but before that, they pressured Jimmy G a lot, and the 49ers offensive line is not bad, so the fact that they could produce that much pressure without Zadarius Smith was very impressive. Also, their offensive line held up against a very good defensive line in the 49ers. So those were the 2 units that I was most impressed about, aside from the quarterback. And I mean, if they have both of those locked down, then they can go far. So yeah, number 5, I have the Ravens. Now that narrow victory versus the Lions was very concerning, but the 49ers also had a narrow victory versus the Lions. Seems like the Lions play everyone close, so who knows? But yeah, the Ravens. I mean, they beat the Chiefs, right? They beat the Chiefs. Now, apparently the Chargers also beat the Chiefs, So apparently that might not mean as much as we once thought. But I didn't feel like moving them down too low, or too much. Just because they narrowly beat the Lions, so I'm gonna keep them at number 5. I think they were at number 4 or something in last week, so I moved them down 1 spot, but not too far. Number 4, I have the Bucks. That was a very hard fought game against the Rams. the Rams are one of your biggest competitors in the NFC, so you wanted to win that game to further your chances of home field advantage. But I mean, it is what it is. The Bucs are still a very good football team. Like, I still believe in them, like I believe in the Chiefs. It's just that they're going to be at number 4 right now because I mean I can't put them higher than the Rams because the Rams just showed that they could go and beat the Bucs, but they still are a very good football team, which is why they're still in the top 5. And this is still the same Super Bowl team that went and won the Super Bowl last year. Number 3, I have the Bills. I have decided that Week 1 loss against the Steelers was a fluke for both teams actually, and yeah, that's not too good for me as a Steelers fan. But the Bills played very well in Week 2. And they played very well again in Week 3, which is why they are at number 3. Also, I feel like, I don't know, but the top is getting, really, separated, I guess. Where, the Bucs and the Chiefs both fell out. I mean, the Packers fell out, right from the beginning. And then so the Bills just creeping on up back into the top 3. Just, playing good football and just winning games. Now, the Bills probably are, I have them the highest in the AFC. I mean, they're probably the most complete team in the AFC. The Chiefs really don't have that good of a running game. And then also their defense can't stop a nosebleed. So, yeah, I mean, the Bills' defense is good. I mean, Josh Allen, he can still improve, definitely. He can definitely get back to his form from last year. But that running game has really come into its own. And the offensive line is still decent, I guess. So yeah, the Bills really are the most complete team in the AFC, and I have them at number 3. Number 2, I have the Cardinals. Now, that was a very weird game against the Jaguars, to say the least. I've got no clue why they attempted a 68-yard field goal like that. That just seems like a recipe for disaster, and it was a disaster. They got 7 points out of that, or the Jaguars did. But, I mean, they still pretty handily beat the Jaguars, blew them out, and, I mean, with everyone else moving down, there's nowhere for the Cardinals to go but up, and I've been higher on the Cardinals than most this whole season, and even last season. I'm still high on the Cardinals, and I have them at number 2. And I'm pretty sure you know what number 1 is, but let's go to some honorable mentions. I still have the Panthers as an honorable mention. I mean, they beat the Texans, they can't go up to the top 10, and especially since I'll have to drop someone out. But I still think that they're clicking on all cylinders, and they definitely could be a fringe wildcard team. The Broncos, I mean, they beat crap teams, which is why I don't feel comfortable moving them up into the top 10. But, I mean, they've played very good football against the crap teams. They've blew out the crap teams. They've dominated the crap teams, so that has to count for something. And then also the Chargers, I mean, you got to move up into the honorable mentions. I mean, you beat the Chiefs, so yeah, they go up into the honorable mentions. Justin Herbert is very, very, very good. And, I mean, this team might be a very good roster. They've just, they are a very good roster. They've been devastated by injuries for the past few years, which is why they couldn't, reach the heights that they reached in, 2018, I believe it was, when they went 13-3. But who knows? This might be the year for the Chargers. And number 1, I have the Rams. I mean, they beat the Buccaneers, who were the reigning Super Bowl champs, and they are still 3-0. They've played very well in 2 of their games. One of the game, I mean, they didn't play too well against the Colts, but they are definitely number 1 here because, I mean, all the other teams that contended lost last week, and so they can't be number 1, and then I don't feel comfortable putting the Cardinals at number 1. So yeah, the Rams have to be at number 1. Getting Matthew Stafford was a genius stroke by Sean McVay. Sean McVay is still an amazing coach. That defense is very good. And I mean, if you got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey on the same defense, it's obviously going to be good. The offensive line is also really good. Matthew Stafford has lots of weapons. Now, I will say one of the downsides of the Rams is the running game, since they lost Cam Akers at the start of the season. But who knows? If they can go get Marlon Mack, that running game would still would be very good. And I mean, if I were the Rams, I would go get Marlon Mack because you've already shown that you can, or you're willing to trade away draft picks. And then also Marlon Mack, he's on a 1-year deal, so the Colts probably won't ask too much for him. And also, he'll be a 1-year plug for your running back situation. So, yeah, I would go for Marlon Mack if I were the Rams. And if they do that, this team would just be absolutely complete. But anyways, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Too easy!